What is going on? This is Lack of Lepers, also known as SCPCRNP. At a previous life, thank you so much for joining me tonight on our nightly hangout, live stream, I guess you could call it, on Twitch. And of course, this is basically just a time where I sit down and basically do the enjoyable things that I would be doing if I wasn't casting. Might as well. If you have anything to say while we go through this, obviously throw them up in the comments. Be more than happy to hear your thoughts, disagreements, criticisms, whatever have you. And so today I thought it would be best to go ahead and get started on a new series. We just finished the Dr. Gears podcast interview that was with Sean Saxum. Amazing interview. Just such a treat to hear Dr. Gears speak, and particularly about more meta things about the SCP, what he thinks about where it has ended up, and things like that, and a little bit of trivia, nostalgia. Sort of trivia from the past as well. So greatly appreciate that. Once again, I kind of wanted to try to dial a different number here because we've been hanging out with Sean Saxum for a little bit. We basically have a reaction series, which you can see on the YouTube channel that I have linked to this Twitch account. And basically we do a podcast episode of Simply Creative People, and then we do 2 or 3, maybe 2, Sean Saxum interviews. So I figure we'd probably give Sean Saxum a break. And so today, as you can see from the screen perhaps, we are going to be starting, maybe finishing, depending on how we think this goes, a new reaction series. And this one will be to the SCP Yurt Works, the YurtKast, I should say. So let's get that up here while we listen to it. And let me edit it because it's called the YurtKast. Is that with a K? Oh my gosh, it is with a K. Come on, guys. So clearly they're paying homage to their godfather, who's DJ Cactus, who, much like Mortal Kombat, tends to put Ks in places of Cs in the most random places, or really just wherever you can. So this is the YurtKast with a K. And if you don't know, the Yurt is confirmed to have been or at least was, probably still is, a Discord server where, young kids and cool folks hang out that are from the SCP Wiki. If you know what JakdragonX was, or is, I guess was, then it's kind of like that. It's basically a cool kids club. You can see a lot of these people hanging out in JakdragonX, and it seems as though Rounderhouse, who founded this Discord channel, wanted to kind of be the new JakdragonX, and so that's basically what the Yurt is. They've also been somewhat tied to a political philosophy, and certainly are represented as sort of a nominal new generation of activists and staff members, particularly Rounderhouse. But more than that, this group right here on the first episode, this is Rounderhouse, JakdragonX, PlaguePJP, and Dune. These authors combined really typify a new school of composition at the SCP Wiki, one that I'm not really a fan of, just for full disclosure, that we've titled Neo-Lull Foundation. We have a lot of one-liners for Rounderhouse. Same is true with Dune and PlaguePJP. I'm less familiar with JakdragonX's works, but a lot of these are sort of zany, cartoonized versions of the Foundation that often make jokes at the expense of the Foundation's reputation. For example, making personnel completely incompetent just to make a joke out of it. So, that going into this, I don't think is going to be too big of a deal. Like I said, all of these authors have written things that I enjoy. Rounderhouse, when he wants to, when he's not slumming really at a much lower reading level than what he's capable of writing at, has some obviously very good works. SCP-6000 among them, in my opinion. PlaguePJP, I just read a great 618. And Dune, I can't remember the number, but had an article this week about speedrunning, and that was actually pretty good. So that's enough talk. Let's get into this, and let's see what these dudes have to say.
Dune, why don't you introduce all of us?
Hello,
Welcome everyone to the YurtKast, and I am Jay Dune, the most
Great music
important
choice.
author that is going to be featured on this podcast, with my companion, Rounderhouse. You might know him as the author of SCP 6000 and also SCP 400 something, The Beast Pits. And also,
okay, fuck you.
That's hilarious. So the Beast Pits is I was around when Rounderhouse joined the SCP Wiki. It was back in 2018, something like that. And I remember, I'd been around for a while, maybe a few months, something like that. And I remember reading the Beast Pits, and it was just, hey, we all start somewhere, and that's where he started. And I think the next one of his was something about a sloth in an anomalous art gallery. But in any case, this basically was a very difficult first impression for Rounderhouse to get over in my book, but he did it. So,
first of all, fuck
PlaguePJP.
Hi.
Jay Dune is, by the way, about what you'd expect him to sound like.
And Jack. Jack's here too. Jack Dragon.
Yeah, hi.
Great background music, great selection there. The jazz. It really feeds into sort of the undue, unbidden mental image that I get of the YurtKast crew, of this bunch of people. I basically see them as like 1950s greasers, walking down the street in leather jackets and pulling a comb out of their back pocket to grease their hair a little more. If these people ever met in real life, I think those would be the only circumstances in which it would happen somehow.
That's
Hi,
my
Jack.
introduction, Founder.
Hi.
Okay,
Jack,
well
welcome
done.
to the podcast.
Hi, Jack. Welcome to the podcast, Jack. Jack, do you know what we're going to be doing today?
No one's told me anything. I've been chained up to a wall for like 3 days with with the lack of knowledge that no one's told me anything.
I
Okay.
like it when the fear flavor seeps into the meat.
What?
What? Can you
What?
elaborate?
No.
Okay.
Okay, Jack. Why don't you introduce yourself and talk about what you've written for this wiki while I set up the things I should have set up like 2 hours ago.
Rounderhouse sounds like a real bro,
Okay, I'm Jack. In case no
which is like father, like son.
one knew that, I've written SCP 6200. What was the other one? What was it? 6690 and 5346.
All these people know
those
their
are the
own numbers.
Three that I can
It's
think
just,
of
like,
off the top
weird.
of my head. I have wrote SCP 6 through 200. I have done that. That includes the what is the piss boy statue, whatever.
What?
Yeah,
Shut
so
up.
that's really kind of the vibe that you'd get from Neo Law Foundation. It's kind of piss jokes, toilet humor. Once again, sort of like the Looney Tunes of the SCP Wiki. And it's almost like, basically, if you want a kind of a gist of Neo Law Foundation, it's basically if you took the character Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy or from the Avengers or whatever, and basically gave him every single speaking role in a dialogue or like a video log. That's basically what at least Neo Law Foundation characterization is like. Just imagine everybody is trying to be Star-Lord, and you've got the good picture.
I can't think straight.
We're barely 2 minutes in and it's already turned to piss.
Once again, I'm not really surprised by that, are you?
I can't help it, man. It's just attractive. No.
Jack,
that's
tell us
not
about
it.
Gump.
Why? I
Tell us
talked
about
about
Gump.
these articles so much. It's
Talk about it more.
it's based off a real story.
By the way, even if this goes well, I think we'll only be able to do this like 4 times. I think last I checked, they have a nice podcast. They have a nice YouTube channel here. The Yurt Works. It's got like 300 subscribers. This is 900 views. This is good. This is good shit, number wise. But I think they only have, like 4 episodes, I think. So I don't know what happened. I guess they gave up.
My father is a huge conspiracy nerd.
I hate to pause so much, but I really don't. You know how it goes. I've said this elsewhere. In fact, my last thing I wrote on RPC Authority was a tale, and it tried to bring the fact out that people who are conspiratorial theorists make for good containment fiction authors, because as you go about your day, you're constantly fishing for ideas of the anomalous, and you really sort of have to have a sort of conspiratorial bent or bend to your thinking in order to kind of pull out unusual relationships, alternative relationships that may not be evident from the surface layer or the mainstream interpretation of things around you. That's really a very basic way to come across ideas for anomalies.
He has this huge stickler, his huge thing about the world being flat, and Bill Gates trying to...
Wait, your dad's a flat earther? Hold on, fucking cancel everything else. I need to hear this. Continue, please.
Okay, so my dad is a huge conspiracy nut. He
Can't remember who's talking.
He believes NASA is full of Nazis. He believes that the world is flat. There's no mistaking it.
Well, I don't know about NASA, but after World War II, we basically took a lot of Nazi scientists and kind of gave them immunity in exchange for their work, didn't we? We being the U.S.
Him and I watched the excuse me? Sorry, Mike.
You're excused.
What are you doing? Okay, my cat.
Ignore the feeling.
Sorry. So I'm trying to think here what all he's done. He's gone through some bizarre stuff.
I almost feel like the music is a little too loud here.
He doesn't actually.
But I think it's probably a good thing, because otherwise it would be like the show is not carrying itself yet. We basically have a few boys, and I don't mean that derogatorily. I think that these people call themselves their clique, their social clique. I think they call themselves the Yurt Bois, don't they? BOIS, Yurt Bois, and I think they were at least talking about doing a stacked harmony kind of boy band release. It's at one point, right? Yurt Bois. Anyway, it kind of feels like exactly what it is, which is teenage boys, a little too giddy in front of the red recording button, I think.
The moon is real.
He thinks the moon is
the moon is real. It's just that the Earth is flat, so the moon is round.
What if we'll get into anything to do with the SCP Wiki in this?
Light. He thinks gravity doesn't exist. That it's all actually density.
I've always wondered what flat earthers think of other planets. Do they think other planets are also flat, or is it just
I would be very interested. I'm sure there's somebody out there who could, keep up, a little, for a longer than the normal mainstream conspiracy theorist. I'd like to hear the best foot forward of flat earthism as well.
They think images of other planets are doctored by NASA, and it's a massive global conspiracy
the Nazis.
to
damn those
prevent
Nazis.
Everyone from realizing that there are other flat worlds out there.
There's a book called Flatland, I think it's what it is, Flatland book, and it basically, I think it collapses. It's a satirical novel. Check it out. It's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't read
Mars
it.
was
So
round because they have pictures
what the fuck do I know?
Mars being round, but not Earth, because those are all fake, but the Mars ones are real.
Okay.
Insane.
He thinks that nothing from NASA is real, actually, and that everything that's provided from NASA is doctored and fake.
What happened to the YurtKast, gang? What happened? Does anybody know?
Like I said, he thinks they're all Nazis.
Educate me. What happened?
I'm trying to think of whether I should let Jack continue on this bizarre tangent that's insanely entertaining or actually start.
There's so much. We can talk about it later. There's a lot that he's told me.
Okay, we'll start later. For now, we'll continue. 1 second. Let me stream it.
Great music.
He knows what's about to happen. He's excited.
Okay, so we got some
Steph said
visual,
something really funny.
Okay,
here.
so for today's
Oh, wow, look at that.
for today's episode of YurtKast, we're going to be having all the GOIs on a list, and we're going to have Jack rank.
Rounderhouse sounds like some kid from New Jersey that grew up, pickpocketing people. So what do we have here? I wish I could see this a little better, but the author names are in the way. It looks as though there's some curse words here. Something about, is this a bingo board? I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of interesting, very teenage boys-esque content in this tab here. I'm not sure what this is.
Them in order of how much sex they have. Generally, we have the whole tier list laid out here for Jack. Please read the tier list out, Jack.
Okay, hang on. The stream is still loading.
Oh, I
Now,
see.
Jack,
I see.
if you don't know what a group of interest is or what the whole deal is,
Well, I will be honest here.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so wow. Yeah. God, I feel like a kid again. I feel like a juvenile. So basically, they are the name of the episode, ranking the GOIs by how often they get it. Yeah. I think, we expect that of these guys. It's just funny to me how if you read this backwards, so basically, once again, DJ Cactus is sort of like the godfather of this clique. They sort of look up to him and kind of want to be him when they grow up, I think. And they don't have to change anything so far. If they wanted to, they might not even have to grow up.
I know you're not the biggest reader of the SCP Wiki.
That's not. I've actually been getting into.
Oh, that's a great chance to plug myself. So I am the busiest reader of the SCP Wiki as of last week. Those of you who joined me maybe saw how fruitless it was to try to read, catch up with all SCPs, at least casting wise. I've since modified that, so every Friday we will be reviewing and kind of looking at every single SCP article that came out that week, and we're going to do it in less than an hour. I have a way to do that, so that'll start this Friday, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm really happy to be caught up with the SCP again, because for anybody who like has read the SCP, there's that magical time where you're just like, you're so plugged in, like you remember every article. This happens with me with like Series 4 when I was reading like everything that came out. And you go back and you're like, oh, I remember that article. Like, oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that article. So this should be good. And if you don't have time to read, just tune into that show. It's every Friday at 7:30.
To reading more.
We're going to cast every night at 7:30 basically, except for the weekends. I get those off.
Did you read 173 yet?
Unfortunately, I've been trying to stay away from that one. It's just too long.
Jack. Oh, I was just making sure you can hear me.
Okay.
Continue.
So,
No, you weren't. You were thinking about changing the subject because this is bad content. It got really awkward when you tried too.
tier list from top to bottom. Sigma 9 male. And then the second.
That was
tier
such a
after is
bad.
fucks.
That was such an ungraceful cover up, Rounderhouse. This is first episode. Come on, man.
The tier after that has reached
gotta give it
second
to 'em.
base. The tier after has no need, or there's no physical need for sex, rather, but maybe intimate, emotional needs. The one that's under that is some V word. The word
That means that's a what's it called? What's the portman?
Voluntary and celibate. Incel. Incel is short for celibacy. I don't know about incelibacy. Sorry, my bad. Involuntary celibacy or voluntary celibacy. Typically a derogatory term if we want to look up Urban Dictionary. Let's do Volcel Urban Dictionary. Volcel, as opposed to incel, Volcel is voluntarily celibate, which rarely happens. That means usually he can get laid, but chooses instead to avoid sex. Okay. And of course, incel is involuntary. Whatever.
For voluntarily celibate, that means they don't have
like
sex.
a monk.
I hate that I know those words.
Exactly like a monk.
Do you know how I know those words? Chapo Trap House. I'm ashamed.
You can have sex, but don't.
Okay. The one that is desperate. And the one after.
Is this a
after
Skype
that,
call?
Jack.
It must be a Skype call.
Okay, we
The
finally
one
got
after
it.
that is incel. I'm really glad that I at least ranked second. highest.
Slightly
Yes.
above incel.
Slightly. Okay. So I'm gonna be
I
honest.
just want to make
there
sure. Can everyone see the stream all right? Just let me know.
I can see it
need,
fine.
I
Yeah.
need access to this tier. Are
No,
you
you need to tell
me.
you need to tell me and give a good explanation for your thing, and then I'll put it up.
I wonder if the
Okay.
show
Well,
gets
I'll
any
be
better.
honest. There are quite a few GOIs that I just.
Okay, we're gonna go through the list. It's fine. 1 second. I just want to make
I'm
sure.
not this angry. I got
Dune,
sunburned.
There's just some GOCs that genuinely just don't interest me, like Ambrose.
Most
never
of them
been
suck.
interested.
Like I'm just gonna say it. Okay,
Yeah.
well, dude,
I-
they
So, God, I kind of wish they didn't think GOIs sucked. You know why? Because maybe they wouldn't be. It's kind of like kids. Like, Neo Law Foundation is a drug on the street, basically, and these are the guys who are going to sell it to you. And you kind of have like after school programs, not so much because they're like good, but just because you basically want to have the kids somewhere, so that they're not like getting into trouble elsewhere. That's basically what after school programs are. So. I kind of wish that they liked GOIs because they could sort of act as a, after school program for these kids who have gotten. I mean, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. Yeah, and contrast this to something like, I can't believe I'm about to compliment these people. Contrast this to something like Simply Creative People podcast, which really takes the GOIs very seriously. I mean, if there's only one good thing about that show, in my opinion, and it is that it is incredibly educational. I mean, you would have to try really, really hard to offset the educational benefit of listening to Simply Creative People podcast. I've only listened to three episodes. We're probably going to listen to that another episode next, episode 4, but maybe tomorrow if you want to join. If we probably won't get through this now that I think about it. I'm ranting, but anyway. So I mean, we're starting to see a pretty serious divergence approach of, I guess, age discrepancy.
I can't see it. Eleni can see it.
I guess that's why they're ranking them by how often they get it.
We're
I'm
going through a mixed
partly
bag
familiar
here.
with
I could see it.
all of them. I just in-depth knowledge only goes down to like a few that I've picked
He
out
said
as,
some
like,
GOCs don't interest me. Okay, well that's fine. If most people can see it, I don't give a shit.
GOI,
if they
sorry,
got
not GOCs.
inconvenience.
GOC is not really interesting.
They're
to
gonna
me,
get
but-
better Wi-Fi.
I mean, compare what this guy. So, in 10 seconds of a clip, this is 7 minutes into the podcast. One of the dudes has already completely disqualified himself from being any sort of contributor to an actual discussion about any of these GOIs. So I don't have good expectations for this. I mean, your sentence is basically like a 2-hour podcast that Simply Creative People did, collapsed into, just a few intelligence quotient points there.
There we go.
They can't get better. Okay, he can see it now. Okay, we're gonna start with. We can go alphabetically, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just progress down
Hold
the
on,
list.
Let me here.
I'm running too many tabs and my computer's getting hot, so I'm gonna open the GOI list
Yeah, I
on my
feel you.
phone.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
feel you,
also
man.
open up GOI.
I don't even think I can open a. I
Yep,
don't even
that
think I
was
can
a
open
word.
a second
That
tab
was a word.
without it
Okay.
getting. Whatever. Oh,
Okay.
you guys are still there.
I don't know. Alexa.
Are you trying to pull up the
Alexa?
GOI list
I
on
will fuck
Alexa?
you up. Sorry, my Alexa turned on. Shh. Shut up.
Somehow it turned on.
He's
Well, it's
turning it on by
probably not
saying
really
Alexa.
ever off.
Not even
Don't you
saying
know about
word.
this? I mean,
Should we just go? Should we just start? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, okay,
We're gonna
let's-
start.
You
Yeah.
guys are
We're
like,
gonna start.
Okay.
okay, let's go.
The
Let's start.
A University. What was the list? Hi, Kitty.
Just a university,
I
a.
can't. I was
Can't
gonna
say it,
activate
you can't
my
say the-
Alexa, and I'm gonna dox myself by accident. Okay.
I don't think I've read a single
Don't even
article from these
start.
guys.
I wrote.
So are they just gonna go through a list of GOIs and just it's almost like a game of darts, where you just throw it at one of these categories that you're in. Is that what's gonna
the
happen?
hub, and I still don't understand what the hell their deal is.
Is this Dear College?
No,
No,
Yeah,
this is
listen.
like worse OG Dear College.
Right? I don't get that.
Oh, I
I'm
want
gonna-
to hold on. Before we start, I want to make the disclaimer that if you are a considerable author for any of these GOIs, sorry, because we're going to insult the shit out of them. We don't
We're
care
gonna-
whether you put.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
try
don't
to.
care.
I'm gonna try to shit and compliment all the GOIs that I can think
Okay.
of. So yeah, Alexa.
No, I think the SCP Wiki community needs a little more shit. They need a little more shitted on them, in my opinion.
Is that what it said? Is that it?
Alex
University.
Silva.
Alex Silva. Okay.
It's a great name, by the way. What a beautiful, beautiful name. Great onomatology there, whoever came up with that.
Alexa, I'm not talking to you, you dumbass. It's
Is Alexa the dumbass, or is the guy who's got one the dumbass?
see the issue is I've never differentiated it from Dear College. Just because I don't care, but
Okay, so what we're going to do is I've decided to make this rule up on the spot. We're gonna trade off spots. So for this one, I'm gonna
the one guy doesn't keep the show, keep sagging the show.
give the explanation of the GOI to
Wow.
Jack, and he has to rank it based entirely off that explanation, how much sense they have.
Okay.
And then Dune will come up after, and then Plague can do
Okay,
after
so it's
that.
kind of like a
Okay.
kind of like a game show. I mean, this could get
Alright.
better.
Okay, Alex Silva University. I wrote the hub for this, like I said. I don't understand anything about it. I know that Harmony wrote like 9 of the articles, which is like the extent of my authorial history about it.
Wow, they mentioned Harmony. Wow. Thought that was verboten. Thought you couldn't say that. But the person who wrote the hub doesn't know anything about it? Isn't that a little... Did I hear that right?
It is a university that's like set in some alternate universe or some bullshit where like Carthage and Rome allied themselves.
He's such a fucking punk. You gotta love it.
And they like settled the Punic War. I don't think Jack even knows what a Punic War is, so I don't know why I'm explaining this.
It's gonna be like a pubic hair?
A pubic war?
I've never read anything
Yeah,
before.
actually, Yui raises a good point. Why is
2 hours of this, gang.
the author base of it like Silva so cursed? It has Escobar, it has Harmony.
That is funny. They know about Escobar. You're damn right. Damn, we took that guy down. Holy shit. That was a hell of a scalp.
Who else? There's another. I think Bijan wrote something for it.
Oh my
I don't know.
Rounderhouse.
That's original.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, I'm getting distracted, aren't I?
Yeah, you sure are.
Okay, anyway, it's a university set in a world where Carthage and Rome allied, and they settled the Punic War, and they made a bunch of like very Percy Jackson-esque anomalies, and they occasionally cross over into our universe.
What does that even mean? And kudos on pronouncing it occasionally. That's an okay job.
Through a poorly explained method that is really like, it's just bad. I don't know why I'm wasting time on this when it's like by far our worst GOI. Okay, continue, Jack.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what Simply Creative people can pull out of that.
Jack,
Here's my thinking. It sounds like it sucks. It sounds like it should be incel level, but because it's located in Tennessee.
No, I mean, wait, because it's all like Greeks and Romans, right? And you know, Greeks, they had tons of sex. Like they were all like in there.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's incel level.
By the way, this is recorded in front of a live audience in SCPD. So, you know, I guess, you know, if I want to boost my numbers, maybe I should, you know, take some notes.
Just because, like, you know, I'm not gonna give it that because mainly it's in Tennessee, and Tennessee's the shit.
Yeah, Lizard has a good point. Greeks have a ton of sex. So do college students. So there's like a thing
yeah,
going
so
on.
And he's such a bro,
desperate.
you know, like, hey, yo, man, the Greeks had some shit, and guess what? So do college students. Hey, so do college students. Hey, yo, Tennessee is great for a lot of reasons, but don't they make whiskey? Don't they make whiskey? I think they do.
I'm gonna say desperate. I think it's fair to put it at desperate because it sucks. Like it's a sucky GOI.
You can just smell the Axe body fragrance through the screen when listening to this podcast.
Jack, we're ranking these by how much the members
Well, that's what I mean.
of this GOI have sex. They're a bunch of Greeks and they're also
I'm
college
all
students. How are
Man,
they
like,
not fucking?
what does everything about the SCP have to bend towards like sex? Why is that? I mean, I understand that the demographic is like incredibly horny, you know, like I get that. But even things that you wouldn't really think, you know, will get that way. I guess that's normal. I mean, I was there, surely, you know, I was a young lad one day. So I guess I get it. I mean, that's why we got, like, my whole thing is getting the containment fiction genre out of the capture really of 15 to 19-year-olds. No offense.
Because they just suck. That's.
Okay, I mean,
they just suck.
sucking is technically, I would say sucking falls under the umbrella of sex.
Right. Well, not like they're not sucking to have a good time. They just suck to suck. You know.
Haven't we all sucked to suck at some point or another?
It's like
This is getting really gay. Sorry.
You know, would you rather take $5 or $25? Like
What?
What is that even
about?
mean?
Some god tier analogies going on here.
I think on top of like the in-universe, like how we associate that with the amount of sex they have, we have to bring into account our opinions on the GOI, so we have to balance that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Jack right now that he is straight out.
I mean, the saddest part about this is that some poor souls who are tuning into this, back in the day, or now, honestly, whether they're in SCPD or they're watching it on this YouTube channel or whatever, they will indelibly have just teenage angst levels of innuendos forever defining these GOIs every time they see them. So this is just a horrible, horrible way. Once you grow crooked, you can't really grow straight.
Straight up wrong, because
Okay, well, regardless of whether the members have sex, there hasn't been an article since this was written.
So I guess they
after the 4000.
something happened to them and now they're incels.
I don't think they're incel level.
Well, I'm putting
I
it
don't
like
think they're
collectively.
incel.
Like I'm like collectively pulling them together. Like sure, like some people from the university may have had some good times, but like collectively they all just are virgins. That's my headcanon.
I think they should be in desperate. Just
I think they
I
should
agree
be
with
desperate. That's what I've been saying. You know what?
Desperate.
I'd put them in fucks. I know I'm going to be the outlier,
think
but
that's
I'd put
too
them in
high.
fucks.
That's
I think that's too much. That gives them too much credit.
Okay.
Fucks.
We've made
That's
our
up
first
there.
GOI decision, guys. Good job.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Very nice.
You can't demote me, Yui. I'm more powerful than you. I have a podcast now.
Okay, so Church of the Broken God is probably gonna be Sigma 9 male, and or fucks, and maybe, God, it'll be interesting to see. Does Site 43 count? I'd love to see Site 43. I think that would be down here. Interesting to see which ones they pick.
Yes.
1 second.
All
The
right.
GOI
Am I handling the
GOI
next
list-
one?
Yes, you're handling the next one. That would be Ambrose. Oh God, Ambrose Restaurants.
Ambrose. Okay, Jack. Ambrose
I
is
don't know anything about that one either.
Let me try to explain. I think Ambrose is a chain of anomalous restaurants that's run by a vampire. I
know
believe.
this.
He's not a
I've read
vampire.
maybe-
He's a cannibal.
He's a
Yeah,
cannibal.
Cannibal.
he's a
I've
Well,
read
that's
maybe
interesting.
one Ambrose article. All I know is that people like to clown on Ambrose because they're like, anomalous food
What?
sucks. But
I think that's going to be the theme for the 7K contest is food. That's what I heard.
I don't know what their deal is. They make anomalous food, so I'm gonna say that they fuck, but it's obviously up to you.
So here's the thing. I know that there was an Ambrose Con, 1 point, and that honestly to me screams incel. That you need an entire unofficial contest to bring about this dead GOI.
Well,
And by the way, JamCon.
That's actually a pretty good
last year,
point.
The worst theme on JamCon that year was delicious. And that correlates to Ambrose. And really, I couldn't imagine anyone working at Ambrose and getting good sex time. Like I just can't.
Well, hopefully not on the job. That's a little unsanitary for the guests. But yeah, I think it's certainly like a lower tier GOI as far as like popularity is concerned. And yikes! I mean, who ran the Ambrose contest? It must have been somebody who was pretty desperate and maybe did some favors to the staff to let that happen. I don't know. That doesn't sound like something that would just happen because somebody wants their GOI populated more. Interesting.
Fucking caveman. Who's so strong? Ooga booga.
I'm gonna say incel, and I honestly never found
Rounder,
any
man, you're such a bro,
interest
dude.
in
God,
in
man.
Ambrose, like ever. Like I looked at an article. the
State
only article that I
jacket,
thought was
state
interesting
jacket
with
wearing
Ambrose in it,
motherfucker.
was the one that was posted on the gift exchange. The one with all the it was like the GOC.
The audience stopped being funny, so I removed the ability to send images or GIFs. So fuck you guys, first of all. Okay, continue.
I'm boring.
Okay. So cool, by the
Look,
way.
Ambrose it's incel. That's what I'm saying, and you don't have to agree with it. But this is my tier list, so whatever.
Okay.
I'm actually, on second thought, I'm going to agree with you because the only Ambrose article I've read is Kaiju Caviar from the War on All Fronts canon.
Should we read articles?
I was wondering if they would mention the War on All Fronts canon. I guess that's not a GOI, but I sure would love to see that on here too. You ever see like someone with a big truck and you think, oh, that person's compensating for something. Well, what about a giant mech cannon?
For these GOIs, or is that going too far?
Oh, fuck.
might be
fuck.
way too long.
How about we should get the tier list done, and then whichever ones that we had serious issues with, we'll go back and read an article.
Oh, look, take it from me. Do not read an actual article on the air, on a stream. Just take it from me.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So
No,
we're not
no, it
wasting
is
so
not a
much
good
time
idea.
with just
Oh,
reading.
they're
'cause
lost.
We're going to be
He likes
reading
to read.
GOI
It's hopeless.
formats, and you
It's
want to
hopeless.
retain this
That's okay.
audience.
Yeah, Kirby has a point. This is an SCP podcast. Nobody cares about reading.
Right. So Ambrose is incel. I think we can agree.
Kirby. I gotta respect Kirby. Man, that just good ideas just fall out of that guy. It's amazing. He's the kind of person who like came by and was like, you know, in like series 5, you know, and was like, yeah, you guys have written it. You've written like 3,000, 4,000 articles and shit, but like you didn't get this one like right here. You're just gonna leave that there? I mean, you're gonna leave it on the ground? I mean, I'll get it. No one's gotten it yet. And his ideas are the kind of ideas that you go, fuck, like why the fuck didn't I think about that? And he had a really good 001. I hope he just has one. I hope I can just say Kirby 001. It was the 0513 one. That one was pretty good. But I really respect Kirby. Along with Peppers for a variety of reasons, but specifically in this statement, for their lack of a Twitter account. That's right, Captain Kirby and Pepper's Ghost. No Twitter. Beautiful.
Actually,
I'd put him in Jack tier.
I would
I
put
think
them in
Jack
Jack tier. I think Jack tier is the thing. Because I know, because when I modeled, what's it called? When I was doing AmbroseCon, I modeled Chaz Ambrose, like his new characterization, specifically after fucking shit. What's his name? What's the guy from American Psycho?
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman. Yeah, Patrick Bateman.
Back moving way too fast.
Hey, Plague!
Yo.
Very nice. Let's see Plague's business card.
No.
Anyway, when I was making AmbroseCon, or when I and Radgirl did AmbroseCon,
These are all the. Look, I'm sorry, I didn't know what this was. I thought this was like an advertisement, but these are all the GOI logos. I am curious as to how they're getting them so nicely tucked in here. Did they do this before time? Or these PowerPoint slides that they just moved to the next one? Do they know what they're going to select? Interesting.
Chaz Ambrose's personality very directly off Patrick Bateman. And if you've ever seen American Psycho, you do know that this is not. I'm not endorsing what Patrick Bateman does.
What
but
accent is that? It's kind of like. It's like if a New Jersey and Canadian accent like collided, like way too quickly, and they were both carrying like flimsily held together briefcases. That's kind of what Rounderhouse's accent sounds like. Can't make heads or tails of that one.
I'm just saying
that was not a pun. Just move on.
That like mechanically and objectively, Patrick Bateman did have a lot of sex. Like he murdered all of them after, but he did have a lot of sex.
You can't deny that.
I thought Batman.
But
was
You do under the circumstances have to give it to him.
Wait, hang on. I thought.
I have read the
Man,
book.
that-
He had a lot of sex.
Doesn't
in the book,
work on
too.
so many levels.
Hang on, wait. Batman.
What?
Not Batman.
Patrick Bateman is Christian Bale, who is Batman.
I thought you said
We're getting 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. We're getting Jeff Goldblumed here.
Batman.
You wanted
I
to
was
make
like-
it there,
I
but
was like, Batman is Bruce Wayne's deal. Who the fuck is Patrick? That's like a starfish. I don't know what's happening.
This is the best decision I ever could have made for the cast.
I was so confused for like half a second because I was like, who the fuck is
No, have you
Bruce
never
Maybe
seen
it's like
American
Minnesotan.
Psycho?
He says like Kiast. You know, like Kiast. Like Wisconsin.
No, I haven't seen.
Hello? Man, if the music wasn't going, I would have thought that my computer just messed up. Oh God. They don't know that the audio clipped out. What? Was this intermission?
American Psycho.
What's gonna happen
No,
to Ambrose?
It actually
whenever I
was.
tell someone that, they're
Oh, cool. Look at he's just dragging him up there. That's cool. I wonder what he's using for that. That's neat. That's beyond my
Why did we convince him he goes into the Jack category?
Ludditeness.
He offered no resistance.
Such a Luddite. I have no clue how they're doing this.
He's like, yeah, sure, I guess.
Only if I get the absolute say on the next GOI. What is the
Fine,
next
fine.
GOI?
Okay, you know what? That's fair. Fine. Okay. Ambrose goes into Jack. 1 second. Okay. Next one is I think Plague gets it. It is Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Ooh, I
Actually,
thought it was
it's
Ambrose. I thought it was
Oh, Anderson.
Anderson
Didn't alphabetically organize the.
I just named them according to whatever the thing. Okay, fine. We can. You know what? Hold on. Okay, fine. We'll do Anderson first.
All right, Anderson. All right. I haven't read a lot of Anderson. It is a GOI.
Okay, apologies to Conwell. Continue.
Yeah. Sorry, Conwell.
Sorry,
It is
Conwell.
a GOI
You better say sorry. He's an administrator now.
dedicated to creating robotics and artificial intelligences. I'm just reading the overview right now. They're
Exciting.
small and have remarkable espionage capabilities. That's crazy. So,
That's crazy.
Holy
Is it-
whack.
but on a different level, I think they're pretty cool.
Is
They
it-
make robots. It's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
No.
Anderson's pretty
I just
interesting.
use them with Prometheus.
Mm-hmm.
No, like
Prometheus doesn't exist anymore. That's the
yeah,
difference.
the whole thing is that Prometheus went bankrupt or whatever, and then Anderson bought all their shit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right, okay. I confused which one was which. I know one of them doesn't exist in
That's
the
fair.
universe anymore, and I always confuse the two.
I thought there was no canon. I mean, how can you tell me that they don't exist in the universe anymore?
I do not like how do I say this? I like Anderson Robotics a lot. I have 3 Anderson articles. They're one of my favorite GOIs, even though I never tell anyone that.
Well, you just told the world
I
now.
think they have a niche. I think they have the niche of anomalous robotics, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, I agree.
However,
I
you
like
have
to
that,
wonder-
I like
no,
that
I-
DJ
I-
Cactus
yeah.
article where Anderson burns his face off and he puts
Dude,
like
that's
a welt.
such a good article.
It's
great
it's
article.
completely underrated. It's only at 88.
I think I got an exploring series video and it went off.
Jamie, pull it up in chat.
I think honestly, if we're going with how much sex Anderson Robotics
Oh,
has,
God.
I'm either going to say it has reached second base or fucks.
What?
Just because like I can imagine the nerdy how those Anderson Robotics guys are probably super nerdy on the
Yeah,
outside.
that's a good point.
Like, could
Actually,
get
they're all
something
STEM majors.
could get some major game just go to a
Jack.
bar.
STEM majors. If we had to guess what Rounderhouse majored in, what would it be? Business communications.
Ministry.
They could just go to a bar and be like, yeah, I made robots, and just instant to the bed we go.
Do you think they use sex bots, Jack?
Okay, that's a good question.
Probably.
That's a good question, and I'm gonna say
I'm gonna say
yes
yes.
or no. I'm gonna say they do it for practice.
Does it count though? Does a robot
okay.
count?
So
Oh, no.
That's how they're
no.
so good at it. Is that they
See?
practice?
They practice with the STEM majors aren't just for smarts people. They also get you some good game.
Well, I hate to say it, but it's the only marketable set of majors that remain.
I'm a STEM major.
terrible. Okay, I guess. Okay, so I think it should be. I think it should be fucks. Generally. Yeah.
I think it
agree
should be
with
bucks.
Fox.
I agree. I'll agree.
I like how I said that it was going to be totally me and no one listened. That's cool. Fox is cool.
This is such a bro podcast.
Well, we ended up agreeing with you, so why are you
That's right.
complaining?
That's
make-
right.
make
You
their
know, I
daddy
can't say
proud.
anything.
Okay. Next one. Oh God. Oh, it's Arcadia. Oh no. Oh
Oh
shit.
god, not Arcadia.
Okay. I don't like this. Weird. There's
I
want
don't
me to
know
take
anything about this
Arcadia?
one either.
Do you want me to take
Okay, you can take Arcadia, and I'll take the next one. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Arcadia is essentially Atari. Do you know Atari, Jack?
I wrote an Arcadia article. I know what Arcadia is.
Do you know? No, that wasn't the question. Do you know what Atari is? The
Yes,
company.
I know what
Atari.
Atari is. They make the little beat bop game shit thing.
You can't unmute yourself. That's illegal.
What?
I muted her
Did you just
again.
fucking jack the podcast?
This is a
Dewey?
confusingly produced
I muted her
podcast.
again. It's fine. We're safe.
Get out of here! Yes,
Who did you do that,
Dewey is
Dewey?
right.
I'm
Arcadia
power-
is a
My
legally
power is
distinct
unquestioned.
Atari.
Yes,
Great
legally
music.
distinct from Atari. By
Arcadia
which we
is-
just
I think
filed
you
the
could put this
serial
music
numbers
behind
off and,
anything,
put
and
our
it'd be
own
pretty
music.
nice.
Yes, Arcadia, Atari, same thing. It is a video game company in the 70s and 80s, and they did a lot of drugs, and they had some occult ties, and all their products are fucked up, and they're gonna summon a demon out of your NES. And a
Maybe
demon's
3.
gonna come out of your NES and gouge your eyeballs out.
So I
You know
have to
what? Okay, coincidentally, Arcadia, like in-universe, Atari Arcadia was made
I would be surprised if Harmony didn't write in that one. By the way,
by a disgraced Atari employee, and in-universe, saying that there's a parallel there.
Oh, look, they just mentioned
poetry, right.
Harmony. I think.
A disgraced
I'm
Atari.
guessing that this GOI was made by Harmony. With that reference there, it seemed like that was pretty sad.
Employee, and in-universe, Arcadia was made by a disgraced SAP admin. So I'm just saying that there's a parallel there.
It's like poetry, right?
Yeah, Rounder doesn't know what the word disgraced means. I hate to tell him that. Just wait.
It's like poetry.
I have to think about this one versus my love-hate relationship with Arcadia, and you know, fucking. I gotta differentiate those. So
You're doing drugs 24/7.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But first, let me get my grudges with Arcadia out of the way. I think initially, the initial premise for Arcadia was super cool.
These guys are some
I
major nerds.
I was super hooked on the initial, the very initial.
Look at
premise,
that.
Like when the first 3 articles really came out with
Yeah, man,
when
go,
Arcadia was really trying
man.
to be something. I thought they were pretty cool.
We're half an hour in, and we're only 4 GOIs through. We're gonna be here forever.
Yeah, this is gonna take a long
and
time.
then they did this whole arc with just Nolan Bushnell, and then what was the other guy? What was the other guy that they were
George W. Bush.
no,
They're-
George W. Bush.
They're
What?
based on real Atari employees, right? They
Right.
use real people for this.
Right, but at the same time though, it got so boring so fast, and the same premise.
Okay,
was
wait,
done
hold on.
over
There's a
and
very
over.
easy way to settle this. Can someone Google what the Atari CEO was and whether they have children?
I'll find it out for you.
Anyway,
From
now.
so
okay,
think of-
Nolan Bushnell. Figure out whether Nolan Bushnell has any surviving children.
so in terms of they fucking
It's kind of weird.
yes they fuck they're mixed with demons, they do hardcore drugs all the time.
That's
Oh
pretty
wow,
best,
Nolan
yeah.
Bushnell has.
I'm sure
It's a bad crowd.
He does in fact have children, yes.
He does?
How
Okay.
do you know that? That's fucked up. Come on,
Okay,
guys.
then that
5 of
puts him in
them.
fuck.
Don't dox people like that.
Oh my god, okay. Oh, relax, buddy.
That's a joke.
6 children. Yeah. Wow.
Why does the number keep going up?
Sounds like he fucks.
It's
5.
Wikipedia is saying 6. Well,
It's
actually,
even 5.
he had 8.
Probably
Wait,
Sigma 9.
why does
Let
it
me read
keep
this.
going
Let me
up?
read this. He married his first wife, Paula Rochelle Nielsen, in 1967 and had 2 daughters. So he had
Okay.
2 daughters with her. And then
That's
they
fine.
divorced. And then in 77, he married Nancy Nino, with whom he had
That's
6
not a real name. That's not a real person's name.
That's Plague's grandma.
That is
He had
not.
Oh no.
children
I'm
with
sorry.
her.
Oh god, Plague could be distantly related to
just
Nolan Bushnell.
because Nolan Bushnell has 8 children, I'm gonna say he definitely is fucked or Sigma.
Yeah.
9.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
yeah, I'm
We
gonna put
agree.
that in
Look at
Sigma
that.
9
That's
now.
He's been often referred to
I think I'm
as
getting
a
the hang of
lapsed
this.
Mormon,
Hang
by
of this
the way.
game show.
What is
Mormon, yeah, they have a lot of sex.
Or the sex haver. They could
Thanks
just
for telling us,
the
Blake.
sex haver.
I'm just assuming.
Someone get Calibri on the call?
One time, I used to have a curious cat, and I think it was probably, if it wasn't these guys, it was other people in their sphere, basically minions of Cactus who were sent to basically harass my curious cat. And at some point, somebody tried to tell me that I was a virgin, which is whatever. But I was like, well, I got 2 kids, and they were like, okay, so you had sex twice.
God.
Question for
Calibri,
True story.
can you come in and...
Okay, next one. We're running out of time. We're not running out of time, but I need this to hurry up.
Next GUI.
Hey,
Blake,
God, don't bring
round
him. This one is Are We Cool Yet? This is an SCP
Oh, come on,
institution.
fucks. At
You
least.
can't go wrong with Are We Cool Yet? This is
Come on.
actually,
Yeah.
this is also one of my
That's
favorite
pretty
GUIs.
cool.
Well, let me say this. Before poor Yorick decided to make a public statement about an ignorant public statement where he thought that putting guns together from 3D printers was illegal, something that he never corrected himself over. Previous to that, it was Sigma 9, but I gotta say that took a little bit of a hit. Kind of soured the whole thing. So fucks. Let's go with fucks.
Yeah.
Uh,
we-
you know,
we call you
Eric-
in suck up.
I don't think I even need to make a blurb for this, which is
No.
good because the blurb on the GOI page is 3 sentences long and pretty dog shit all in all. Doesn't even
Right.
reference Cool War.
right.
But everyone knows what Okay, wait. How do you guys pronounce the acronym?
A wiki.
I've never
I
pronounced
say
the acronym.
AUKI. I say AUKI.
It's
I always
Alfie.
just say it
But
all the
I
way
just-
like
just-
I'm-
Just
I
why don't
get
you just
it
say,
out.
"Are we
The
cool
acronym.
yet?"
I
I
just
mean-
say, are we cool yet?
Thank you.
I say the acronym because I don't want to say the whole sentence, but everybody knows what AUKI is.
It's like 4 monosyllabic words, bro. Bro, are we gonna acronymize all of these? Church. I gotta do this out loud. I can't do this silently in my head. Church of the Broken God. Church of the Cogdub. Let's actually recruit someone to help us with these. Just to settle this, okay? Because we have the technology. I am a Luddite. I have no idea how they're doing this cool, fancy work on the screen here. But one thing I can do, one service I can offer, is we can settle this once and for all. So we may do this down the road. It would be nice to maybe pronounce my old SCP name, for example. So let's try that first. Let's see.
SCPCRNP.
Oh, I didn't do it. All right, let's try this. Aussie. Yeah, I mean, and why would you say it anything other than that? Now that I think about it, it's perfect. Aussie. It's like the Australians. Church of the Broken God.
Kotbug.
Oh, Kotbug. Of course, it's beautiful. Let's hear my name.
SCPCRNP.
He won't do it. Brian, come on, dude. Come on, just say this.
Skip and rip.
Thank you. That's how you say it. Skip and rip. Okay, let's move
They're
on.
the art GOI. They do art installations. They kill
Initialism.
people. Shut up.
Cool, yeah, definitely is Sigma 9,
Aussie.
by
What
the
did
way.
he? Let's go back. What did he
I
say?
just say, are we cool yet?
I always just.
A wiki.
I've never
I
pronounced
say
the acronym.
AUKI. I say AUKI.
Ouchie.
It's
I always
Ouch.
just. say it
Ouchie,
all
ouchie.
the way.
Why would you
I
say
get it.
ouchie?
Acronym. I just say, are we cool yet?
It's clearly Aussie.
I
like,
say
that's
the
way
acronym 'cause I
better.
don't want to say the whole sentence, but everybody knows what AUKI is. They're the art GOI.
Reminds me of that time where somebody from the RPC Wiki tried to put the word "rip" as a reference to like RPCs, like in universe, kind of like skip, but it's like "rip," and it just did not work. Aussie, man, it's that hybrid accent coming back. Where the hell did you get that from?
They do art installations. They kill
Initialism.
people. Shut up.
Cool, yeah, definitely is Sigma 9, by the way. I just want to get that out of the way.
I love the headcanon that 173 was Are We Cool Yet? Did they take that down from because on the Are We Cool Yet hub they had I'm sure they did. Come on, right? They had to have. Yeah, they took it down. Yeah. Used to be up on here. Used to actually be up on here. Information. Yeah, they took it down. Shame.
What?
Are we cool yet? It's definitely Sigma 9 male. Like,
Yeah, I agree with
are-
that. Actually, I feel like they're either Sigma 9 or Incel. I can't decide.
Right.
I think Sigma 9, the
I
logo
think
is pretty cool.
Because
Sigma 9,
I know,
they're
for
like-
a fact, I know for a fact that Are We Cool Yet does hardcore drugs. Like, a ton of them do just hardcore drugs. They got
I
demons.
think this one's
and a
got
few
pretty
type-
cool.
I'm starting to get the distinct vibe that really how often you get it is going to be directly proportional to the general popularity of the GOI, and maybe that's the way they intend for it to be. I don't really know. Makes sense, I guess, but still, this is just yet another shake of the popularity die.
Clearly where it is.
They have some rad shit. Like, definitely Sigma 9 male. Like, they definitely get lots of fun
Artists
times.
do tend to be freaky like that. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
my logic. I
Yeah,
feel like
I
they're
agree with that.
They're like the school band. Like, they might not get a lot from like other people, but like amongst
They get it
themselves,
entirely in and of
it's
themselves.
just like it's like a fucking orgy.
That is hilarious. Yes,
They keep it. They keep it in
Yes.
They keep it all in house.
very
Exactly.
true.
In-house
Very, very true.
productions, if you will.
Oh no!
Hey, by the way, while we're kind of still slightly goofy on a tangent, let's do this. If you've never seen this, we all know this individual from the SCP Wiki. I think was an administrator for a very small amount of time before very quickly very quick turnaround, decided, hell no. But this is the individual's name, and this is an actual, this is a streamable, so I guess, streamed this at one point. No, this is just where you upload shit. But it has like 13,000 views. Isn't that something? And then here's how you say it. So good. Hold on, one more time, dude. It's so good. It's such like a rhythmic word. Like when you look at it, it's like, okay, it's a bot. You know, that's what everybody thought for so long. And then you just say TSAT, you know, because like, oh, SAT, you know, stat, you know, it's kind of in there. TSAT, you know, that's obviously the memetic variant, but the whole fucking thing is just so mellifluous. It's like a freaking like a harmony trill vocal run by like, I don't know, fucking Justin Timberlake or something. Listen to that shit. Holy fuck. Fucking love that pause. Can't do it. That is so fucking good. Anyway, this link will be in the show notes right here.
But yes, I totally agree.
Nobody understands that. Yeah, Sigma 9.
Can we just move on? This one's done.
Yeah, that one's done.
Okay, good.
Black
They gave
Queen.
it,
this one's Plague.
They
I
gave
have
it
no goddamn clue. Where's the list?
Isn't the new like
Tops.
isn't the new Ambrose gone about Black Queen?
above bar. Good job.
Apparently.
Awesome.
No, Tanhoney just wrote something.
Lousy. Yeah, by the way, Tanhoney. I mean, come on, dude. Like, you're that like straight A student who like their senior year, you know, like they've done it by the books, you know, above board, the whole like 3.5 years, and then at like 3.5 year mark, you like, you know, get like you hang in with you fall in with the wrong crowd, man. I mean, God, dude, Tanhoney. I mean, I blame this click for his Among Us article, which is like just unabashedly memetic. You know, it's basically just desperate. You took the most memetic thing you possibly could. I mean, that sus guy is going to be sort of like what future generations do when we look at cave paintings in the wall. They're like, oh, look at that. Like, they're going to see the sus guy. I was at a playground with my daughter, and she got stuck in the slide. And there was like a traffic jam of kids being like, oh, like it's the girl with the ribbon in her hair. So I was like, oh shit. So I had to go in there and fish her out. Kind of felt like a horror article, you know, pulling her out of there. But the weirdest fucking thing, like it was too in the moment for it really to register until like much later. But I went into the fucking slide and there was an Among Us guy in there. Someone had taken a Sharpie and like, there he is. Like I'm pulling my daughter out. She's crying and there's a line of like 20 kids, you know, trying to push her from the other end. And in the midst of it all, I look over on the wall of the slide and there he is. There he is. So that's Tanhoney's low-hanging fruit.
Well, you can go read the
Into
blurb.
Black
It's like
Queen.
6 paragraphs long.
Jesus Christ. It's some like God thing
Tanhoney's mother would be so disappointed in him.
that knows about the Foundation, but the Foundation does not know about it.
Yeah,
I'm just looking through this right now.
I'm
If they really, so it's like some god. It's like a Scarlet King type deal.
What are they talking about?
But this one's like directly opposed to the Foundation, and it's associated with the Wanderer's Library and the Serpent's Hand.
Okay, I'm gonna explain what the Black Queen is because I actually
Black
have no
Queen,
experience
okay.
with Black Queen.
No
and,
clue.
I think anyone besides Kirby and Nico in the last 2 years. It's basically like the whole premise is that it's Gear's daughter or whatever, who's like has mad daddy issues because her dad was like always working at the Foundation or whatever.
Sounds like a GOI you guys might be interested in.
And now she's like, I don't even understand what her goal is. Like, there's no clear goal assigned for her. Like, she just seems to cause chaos on purpose for no reason.
She has daddy issues.
It's like Volcel or whatever it's called. Just because I think there's a kink with the just chaos wherever she goes.
Do you think she's a girl boss?
I I think so. Either a girl boss or what's the other one? Fuck, there's 3 of them. Girl boss, gatekeep. Fuck.
Gaslight, girl boss. Only one of those is a title that applies to a person.
Right. I'm just trying to see if any others like fit, but no, definitely girl boss energy. So I'm gonna say Volcel. I don't think Allison gets a lot of game, but because of that side of her, I think that really provides an insight.
I hate to tell you this, but a woman, particularly like Dr. Gears' daughter, like I'm talking about in universe here. If she ain't getting any, it's probably Volcel. I hate to say that. Very, it's kind of a fact of life. Males, on the whole, their access to fuck is basically based on the consent of the female, and for a female, their access to fuck is basically just whenever they want to. So
into when it does happen, like once in a blue moon, once in a
we're
black
getting confirmation from Pentagon that Calibri does indeed fuck. Thank you.
Calibri does in fact fuck. Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
So what we're saying about the black...
This is a perfect advertisement for why you should just avoid the internal dynamics of the SCP Wiki. Just float over it as altitudinous as possible. I think I just made that word up.
Queen. Volcel. That's what I'm going with.
Volcel?
I think it's slightly above Jack level.
Rounder is pinging everyone. Do not continue the discussion. Do not continue this discussion because Rounder has left the chat. His Discord.
I'm right here.
Oh, never mind. He's back. Okay.
Okay. Great job. I'm not sure why it crashed all of a sudden, but we'll fix that. 1 second. Where did we decide Black Queen was?
I think she's a girl boss, so I think she fucks.
I think Volcel.
Okay. I think that it's gonna be like this weird Loki situation where they build up a weird love interest between like one Loki and another Loki. That struck me as very odd, but it seems like the kind of thing Black Queen writers would do. Y'all freaks.
Loki. I think that was a Marvel Universe reference, so I'm happy to not know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and girl boss chaos, masochist level or sadist. I think Allison has
the opposite things.
I think she has potential for both, so I'm gonna say incel.
Okay, 1 second.
So are there multiple Black Queens? The way you're describing it.
Is it like nobody? Is it like a nobody
Ooh,
situation?
we're getting a little late here.
There's multiple nobodies.
31 minutes into the this podcast.
I don't know.
I'm not yawning because
I'm
this
not
pod,
familiar
because
with it at all.
the Yurtcast. I'm yawning.
Did
just
Rounder
because-
die again?
I swear.
Right here. It's literally the opposite. Like
I called it Volcel.
what's
Look
it
at
called?
that.
With
I'm getting really
with
good at
nobody.
this.
There's one nobody, but he's like a universal constant.
Maybe they'll let me on
And
the
Black
show.
Queen, it's like talking to versions of herself from like the other universe.
Maybe we can just repeat episode
Like
1
a
and,
really weird
and I can
Spider-Verse.
ask if I'll.
Yes, shitty Spider-Verse is a good ad. Anyway, we're gonna put Volcel?
We'll just do the
Yes.
same thing. Just in
We don't care
reverse
what Dune
alphabet
thinks.
order. Let's.
Nobody cares what
That's
Dune's
usually how it goes.
Okay,
Maybe
this is a fun one.
Maybe
This
that'll
is
be
a
better.
fun one.
Got it.
Who wants to get? Okay, I did the last one. Dune, you can do this.
Chaos Insurgency. Look, all I know about the Chaos Insurgency is that the name is stupid as fuck, and not even DJ Cactus himself can salvage that this group of interest is a relic of fucking 2000.
These guys really like DJ Cactus. I was kind of joking about him being their daddy, but
10 because they're, from what I understand, they're supposed to be a direct antagonist to the Foundation. They want to free anomalies. They used to be a part of the Foundation, but they broke away, but they caused chaos. It's just the
sort
name
of like
stupid.
anarchists, I
Their
guess.
gimmick is very like, yeah, they're incels.
They're definitely
Yeah,
incels.
absolutely.
I think this one's pretty unarguable.
yeah,
They're
it's,
incels.
I
Yeah,
agree.
They're in.
Fuck.
They're incels.
Absolutely.
Is that just a dead discussion now? Like, are we moving
Yeah.
on?
We don't
Yeah,
even need to
just
elaborate.
English.
Call
it's
it,
like, it's
call
like
it,
it's
you
like
know?
known. It's known.
No need to beat the
there's
dead
no way
horse,
they're
guys.
anything other
I
than-
agree.
they're not-
See, even Dad agrees with us. Chat
There's a
hates us.
strange logic to all this. That's what's so appealing
so
about
what's
this so
next? Is
far.
my
It's
turn
just
to go?
Chicago
strange.
Spirit. No,
It
hell,
makes
fuck you.
sense.
This is
It's
my
like
turn.
Okay.
it's like a math
I love
equation. It's
the
like
Chicago
this should be
Spirit.
the answer.
Chicago Spirit. I think all of you know by now what the Chicago Spirit is, but for our listeners who don't because they suck.
God, I'm
it's
sorry, but like Chicago Spirit always like just rubbed me the wrong way. It like that's a bad phrase to say right now in the context of this podcast. But it just I don't know, man. I'm still maybe I'll watch the Simply Creative People podcast on it and get some more appreciation.
like anomalous mafia or like a mob, like in the Prohibition era, they run anomalous booze or whatever, and
Run anomalous booze.
they do crimes. They be anomalous, commit crimes,
Anomalous crimes.
and of course, what's it called? It's owned by Richard Chappelle, which, as we all know, fucks. Like, this is just known. It's
They should team up with the Ambrose chain restaurant.
established. Like, his nickname is Big Dick. You can't Richard Big Dick Chappelle. So, in my opinion, I think we should put Chicago Spirit at Sigma 9 male. Yes, they are gay.
I think we're all in agreement here that it's actually incel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Plague.
Why?
Honestly, I don't get fucked by.
Here's the thing. I think the Chicago Spirit is hiding. It's trying to mask over their falling masculinity.
There you go. So yeah, I completely agree. So, it's both. It's just whatever you decide to be fooled by. It's whatever you decide to read into. So if you read into the side, sort of like macho kind of front that is put on by the fact that it's like a mafia, like tough guy shit, then you're gonna think that they fuck, But if you actually like read any of the articles or like, it's more like a film noir detective, who has the unfortunateness of having the looks of Humphrey Bogart and none of the fame or charisma. You just get a very different vibe from what is on the packaging. So I don't know, maybe this is sort of a psychological litmus test here. Interesting that you choose which one you think maybe you'd like to use more as a marketing tool for your own reputation. I don't know.
I think Chappelle's trying to project his masculinity and it's failing. That's why they call him Big Dick Chappelle.
Exactly.
So
man. It's like the large truck or the mech suit.
I'm gonna say exactly.
I'm gonna need specifically after this. I'm gonna have us read the wise words of wisdom from Richard Chappelle article, which is my only funny article that I've ever put onto the site. And I'm gonna have.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, he said it, not me. Wow. This was in July of 2021. This is almost a year ago. I think he's written a lot of try to be funny articles since then. I wonder if he still feels that way. That'd be. My God, that'd be redemptive news if I actually learned that he didn't think that his own articles weren't funny. That'd be plus 10, plus more than that in my book. Wow.
Jack, read all of them.
Okay, I think I want to say incel because I want to say that maybe someone from the Chicago Spirit got like game one time, like went to the back and was like, ooh wee, this is a good time. Like
That puts you immediately at second. That has reached second base.
No, I think it'd be Jack. I think it'd be Jack, honestly.
I'm willing to concede with
Yeah,
Jack.
I will concede Jack. Okay, next.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the braggadocio of the Chicago Spirit. It doesn't play out.
We really just wanted to put Chicago Spirit into incel because we wanted to
I could tell.
Rounder.
I could tell.
I just got a message.
Rounder, I messaged both of them saying, when we get to Chicago Spirit, say it's an incel.
I knew that was way too planned for it not to be you both fucking with me. Anyway,
we do a little mischievous
a little
acting.
trolling, a little
trolling.
Okay, next one is
Good one.
Church of the Broken God.
Good
That
one,
one's
guys.
for Plague.
You got him.
He's a pretty classic GOI, enemy of those meat guys. They believe in a big god made of metal.
Oh yeah, he
They really like that. They
has no
believe
need for
they
physical sex. I
augment
guess that makes
themselves.
sense.
They have.
So I like this. So it's not purely on popularity, because if it was, this would be right up to Sigma 9. They're really sort of going in universe, which I appreciate. A little bit more immersive, a little more fidelitous to the actual writing. and they're really considering, the actual qualities here. So, good call. I like that.
There's like a headcanon where their leader becomes a god of some sort. Pretty solid overall. I think they're cool.
Classic GOI.
I'd say it doesn't need physical. What was the
that seems reasonable. Has no physical need for sex.
Gosh,
Yeah.
that's one GOI that I can't.
Sorry.
Never mind.
We've enhanced past that point.
They're
However,
optimizing themselves.
Yes,
they've
they've
evolved
optimized
past
themselves.
for sexual.
Could you imagine
You
a
probably should team up with the Anderson Robotics guys. To be honest with you, there's a nice crossover.
like an enhanced dick? Like, could you imagine just like?
No, I'm not going to imagine
No, I don't
that,
want
you
to
freak.
imagine an hand.
No,
Dick
that's enough.
Jack.
No,
What the
like,
hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, that was a little weird.
I can't imagine it. But
Have
like,
ridges and gears, and it's gonna like
Oh,
you're gonna
no.
oil it up.
it'll be like a-
There's an article about Dr. Gears' dick. Excuse my curtness there, but I wouldn't be saying that if it weren't absolutely true. I think it was for the CrackCon. Let's see if we can find this. SCP Wiki CrackCon. Don't worry, there's no picture. Crack fiction contest. Yeah. Gears is totally not a robot, guys. This tail right here is just ridiculous. Yeah, see, it's there's 5 hits when I type in the word dick. I don't even know if I recommend this. Yeah, if he was a robot, then why would he have a dick? So I guess that's what these guys are saying here. So
it would be
Make
like
it
a
a bit more
steam pump, you know? It'd be like a steam engine, like Rounder's old.
Steam engine.
Yeah, Rounder's
You just-
old author page.
You just hear like
Sets the
like,
mood.
hold on, baby, talk dirty to me, and then like a
and
train
steamy.
whistle.
Just chugga. That's awful.
Smoke starts
That's
coming out of it.
funny.
Would it like
like-
extend as you're going? Like, would it just
That's
like?
pretty good. Dude.
So
Okay.
she says
You
faster,
got
and
me.
they put
You
more
got
coal
me.
into it.
I tried my hardest. You got me. That was good.
Oh god.
Train whistle.
However,
and intercourse. That's
as
good.
it stands, the Broken God are
That's
currently
just powerful.
have no physical need for sex, but once I post Omni ROM, I'm going to push them all the way to has reached second base.
Was
That's
that the
tr- yeah, I
purpose of
think
that
That's I'm getting the adult
SCP-001?
tag, I swear to god.
Fucking crab
Might have
robot.
been.
Can't wait for
Crab
Might have been the
robot.
reason for it.
Yes,
I don't
Crab
know.
Robot is going to be great. Next. What's next?
Church of the
Second
second
Highball.
Hymen.
Crab robot sounds like a consequence of the broken god engaging in intercourse.
Search. Okay, this one's incel. I'm just going to note that.
Okay, who's
Yeah.
this? Sorry.
Search.
Church of the second
Highball.
Hymen.
Who's
Search. Okay, this one's incel. I'm just gonna note that.
Yeah, no one.
So-
I will
Yeah.
say that.
No
I
one
just
likes
wanna
this.
say that
You
No one knows.
can't fuck
Whenever
with
someone talks
aliens.
about, whenever someone talks about not knowing what all the GOIs on the list are, they always cite the example of you could remove the Church of the Second High Talk from this list, and absolutely nothing would change because
Yeah.
people
That's a
would
cool
fuck
idea.
Well, it's a
You can't
church.
fuck aliens.
It's a church, right? So if the real world and history is any indication, I think you'd probably have to put them up at Fox, at least.
Like that's against biology. Like I couldn't go up and be like, hey,
Church of the Second
Yeah,
Talk
I haven't
is-
tried that.
It's
It's more
literally
alien.
it's a pet GUI made by one person,
Mhm.
and it was like, you know how people joke about like sarcasm and like Broken God lore being impenetrable. Church of the Second High Talk
Is that the best word to use for this podcast title and theme?
lore is like a brick. You can't even do anything with it. You just have to sit there and stare at the brick until it like begins to seem interesting to you.
Yeah, it's kind of like with Davey Fool and the Three Moons,
High
but
Talk.
you don't know what to write for it.
I like
So who
Three
wrote
Moons.
this?
I like Three Moons. No. I'm saying like Three Moons is the good version of that. Like,
Well,
Davey
it's
Fool kind of runs the
absolutely
whole
hideous.
thing.
Let's take a peek here. Look at this. Oh my gosh, who did this CSS? No, this is an approved CSS. All CSSs have to be vetted now. I should really log out so that I can see some shit. You guys don't want to fucking see that shit. Let me get the hell out of here because I'm banned. What am I gonna do? How do I get into the comments and the history of a site like SCP that I'm banned for? Oh, I'll just fucking log out or hit private. I got to tell you though, it is really, really obnoxious. I mean, You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like a limp-wristed thing to do to somebody, but it actually pisses me the fuck off like all the time that I can't get into things like this without opening up a private browser or logging out. Nat Voltaic, also previously known as 9volt. Always thought they were just a reliable. Did you do this, Rounderhouse? Did you do this themery? Is that what this means? The CSS themery? Oh boy, come on. It's just like one step up from your author page. Let's. I mean, God. I mean, tell me that you don't like the GUI without telling me. Harry Blank has been here, so it can't be that great. All right. Well, I don't know a damn thing about this, so let's see what they have to say.
But like, if you want to write something for it, go ahead.
I think you have to be a very specific type of person to write high
someone
topics.
is in the chat pinging me to talk about how I'm wrong, which is 100% what I want for all of these GOI decisions. I want to be insulted in chat over them.
Oh, good.
I agree. I do think that.
Let me just finish.
Solid idea.
I want you to insult Jack over them. Please ping him instead.
Hang on, no, okay.
The guest of honor. It's
I
like
legit
roasting.
don't
We're
even-
friends, all right.
Roasting
I've said
someone.
this about Sarkix before. Sarcasm, like in general, is like going to like high school and walking past like a Spanish 4 class and not having any idea what's going on, like any clue what they're saying.
But Jack,
At
that
least
was
the
every
rules
class.
I feel like that right
pretty-
now.
Okay, I did have some issues with basic geometry, but let's just go past that.
Well, I kind of specified basic geometry, so we know it's not like trigonometry. It's like, what is a circle?
Oh,
Please point to the square.
I think I need
did
to
have
actually go
issues
do
with
my own
knowing what
research. I don't think they're going to tell me what this
What?
is.
I hate it when they had to make me prove that a triangle was a triangle. That was
Just
stupid.
look, there's 3 sides. Just
All right, let me
That's
just
right.
do their job for them real quick. So this is an occult organization of human and alien entities. Human and alien entities. Wow. So if it's an occult organization, we already saw an occult that got fucks. You put aliens in there. I gotta imagine these are some thirsty people. We got a chance to cross-pollinate here. So, aiming to add universal guardian deity in combat against extra-universal threats known as Fortuit. No wonder this isn't a very good one. Let's see what they say.
Okay.
I mean, I'd have to put them up at like fucks.
Next one.
It's an occult, and you got aliens.
What's on the list?
Where'd y'all put them? Did y'all put them somewhere? I don't see. Oh, they put them on Incel. Yeah. Well, okay.
I think it's Dear College. Okay, Dear College. I'm comfortable saying Dear College has reached second base.
Of course.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
I think we're all
I
in
can say
agreement
that.
there.
I can
They're
say
college
second base.
students. They're
It's
fucking
a college
students,
student,
they're
man.
chill.
One article I've always wanted to do with Kirby and Stormbreath, but I've never found the time, is like a course listing for Dear College. And you can imagine all the kind of wacky courses they have, right? And it would be like a collaborative blog, so anybody could add their like weird course with their weird teacher and like the weird like course description or whatever.
That's a fun idea.
$10 that Harry Blank would make himself a professor in universe.
And it's in 3 Portlands, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a bunch of anomalies there. They're definitely fucking over
It's
there.
a fun concept. Dear College is definitely more penetrable between the 2 universities that we
I
talked
think you
about.
mean penetrative.
Can we
Oh,
trade?
oh.
Oh wait, hang on. No one needs. Yeah, it fucks. Or what was the
Second base.
second base?
Second
That was- yeah.
Okay, so we're about 40 minutes in. That's a pretty good wrap up, I think, for the first dive into this. A lot more entertaining than I thought it would be, honestly. And there's something a little more to the superficial and apparent crudeness of this exercise, I think. So just amazing to see what can get you into interesting discussions about things. Just very interesting, creative ways to get there. So anyway, thanks for joining tonight. We're going to do this every night for the foreseeable future. I'll be streaming at 7:30 p.m. That's Central, and so if you look on the Twitch, that'll be adjusted automatically according to your time zone. But we will probably pick this up again tomorrow. I think we'll stick with this again, at least for another episode until it just begs us to stop. So. Thank you for joining. If this was interesting to you, come on back and share the link, and then comment if you would like, just to throw your 2 cents into these things that we're talking about here. And other than that, I would recommend you to check my YouTube channel, which has all of these on there. They are not permanent on the Twitch. They are relatively more permanent on the YouTube. All right, this has been SCPCRNP, also known these days as Lack of Lepers. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.